Hello, everybody. We're going to work on a couple more concepts with math that really should tie together everything we've been doing in this unit. They're pretty simple if you've caught up and done all the lessons prior to this. So I'm going to go ahead and start by building a number. Let me scoot that to this side. All right, so we have 200. And we have 10, 20, 30, 40, 243. So you can see our number right here. We have 243. Well, I want to also add to this. Now we've done 100 more, 100 less, 10 more, 10 less. We're going to take that a little bit further today. So today we're going to do 300 more. And so mentally, I should be able to solve this problem because my number right now is 243. So if I'm doing 300, I'm focused on the 100 digit, which is two of these. There's 200s. Well, if I add 300 plus 200, that's going to make 500. Let's look at the visual of it. And if you need a visual, when you do this, you can make that visual. You can draw the picture just like I've got the models here. So here we are. So 200 plus 300 makes 500. And then I have the 10, 20, 30, 40, 41, 42, 43. So if I add 300, I end up with 543 because all that changed was my hundreds place right now. I wasn't adding ones, I wasn't adding tens, I was just adding hundreds. So let's look at another example. $362. So I have 362 this time. Let's count it. 100, 200, 300, 310, 320, 330, 340, 350, 360, 361, 362. I have 362. Now, let's go ahead and add, but we're not going to add hundreds this time. So this time I'm going to say plus 30. So think about that. So even let's look at that in expanded form before I pull my models down. So we have 300 plus 60 plus 2. This is expanded form. You're going to need to know that on the test. It will ask you sometimes for expanded form. Now I'm adding 30. So with 30, there is 30 plus, and there's nothing. There's no ones. It's 0. So I can put that together, and I know 2 and 0 is 2. 60 and 30 is 90. And I still just have 300 because nothing was added to my hundreds place. Nothing was added to my ones. Only the 10s, 60 and 30 made 90. So let's do that with our models. So let's bring down 30. So when I bring 3 more 10s, and I'm going to put them underneath this one here, now I have 392. Let's try one more. I want you to have your math journal this time. I want you to draw this picture and do this one with me. All right, so what I'd like you to draw in your journal is 300 flats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 10 sticks that make 70, and 5 ones that make 5. Go ahead and draw that in your journal. Pause the video, and once you have it, unpause it. Now let's write our number in expanded form. So I have 300 plus 70. We've done this quite a bit working with expanded form, plus 5. So that's expanded form of my number. Okay, now we are going to add on. So I want us to add, I'll put it up here. What is 300 more? So write that down, please. Okay, now where we had our expanded form, let's add 300. So what is 300 in expanded form? Well, there's 300. How many tens? There's none. So we put 0. How many ones? None. So we put a 0 there. And now we can add this up. 5 and 0 is still going to be 5. 70 and 0 is going to be 70 still. Well, what is 300 plus 300? Remember our if-thens? We knew that if 3 and 3 is 6, 300 and 300 is 600, which makes 675. Now, what if I didn't understand how to do that with expanded form? Well, I could still draw my models. I could draw another 100, 200, 300. I could draw those flats. Draw that in your journal. Now let's count it all up. 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 610, 620, 630, 640, 650, 660, 670, 671, 672, 673, 674, 675. So we got that same number when we used our models as we did when we used expanded form. We're going to look at one more activity today, and then we will be wrapping up this unit with some reviews. So I want you to look carefully at what I have here. It looks like a part of a 100 chart, but this is a different type of chart. This is a skip counting chart. So you've done lots of skip counting through this school year. We've done it with small numbers and with large numbers. So we want to look at our chart, and what we need to figure out is what goes in the missing squares. So the first thing I notice is my top row, that these numbers, let me get a pen, these numbers right here have 3 in the hundreds place. Then I noticed that my tens is what's changing. Look, this one had 2 tens. This number had 4 tens. So I skipped something, 320. Well, let's look down here and see if this helps. So this row, they all had a 4 in the hundreds place. But look what happens to my tens. I have a 20, then I have a 30, then 40. So if this follows the same pattern, 20, 30, 40, I would keep my 300. And then I would add another 10, and this would be 330. So what we're doing when we move this way is we are adding plus 10 on this chart. Well, what happens when I move down? I went from 320 to 400. How much did I add? I didn't add ones. I didn't add tens. Oh, but I added a 100. So if I fill my chart in going down, 420, then it went to 520. I could do the same thing this way. So I can figure out my pattern across or down. 330, 430. What would this one be? 530. Let's see this one. 340, 440, 540. So I can figure my patterns out going across or down. Let's look at another one. So you should be comfortable with these now. Let me slide that up. Okay, so let's look at this one. 450, 460, so my hundreds is staying the same, moving across. My tens, I jumped by 10, 450, 460. What do you think should come here? And look at these. What's in the 10 spot here and here? Yes, it should be 470 because I was making that 10 jump across. Well, if I move down, what do we notice again? What happens? I jumped 100, 450, 550, 500 what? Should that be it? 500? That's what I see students do a lot. Nope, I wanted to see if you were paying attention. No, it should not be 500. What should it be? 450, 550, tell me. It should be 650. Good. And let's look here. What would come in this place? Well, both of these are 500s going across, so this needs to be a 500. These all have 60, 60 here and 60. So I think this is 560 that fits in my pattern there. All right, get your journals out. You should still have them. And look at this one. I want you to go ahead and write this one in, and let's see if we can figure it out. So pause the video, fill this one in, and then we'll check your work. Okay, are you ready to check your work? So this one moves across 220, 230, 240. Now we skipped this one, but I noticed the others on this row were 300s. So, and these are all 20 to 10. So I think this one is 320. Is that what you had? Let's see. So 320, 330, 340. Let's see what's happening here. 420, so I made that 100 jump. Oh, so I need to, these have 30, so they're 3 10s, they have 30. But what do I put in my hundreds? It should be 400. And the last one, should I put a 300 here? No, you should not. This is the 400 row. We should have 440. So did you get this one? If so, give yourself a check mark, and you will take a picture of that and turn it into me. So you'll be moving on to a practice activity with all the math that we've done so far, and some of these should be on there for you to review.